There are many prominent middle-of-the-road liberals associated with prominent mainstream liberal organizations who have been putting out lies. They've been making little comic strips, flooding the internet with lies to trick the left and liberals, the moderates, that the assassin of Charlie Kirk was a Groyper. They are framing Nick Fuentes. And I think their strategy was Nick Fuentes is kind of a boogeyman even to conservatives. So if they blame him, conservatives will just say, okay, which is not the case. No one's going to do that. That's not true. And there's even an article from Axios debunking the lies. What we believe to be true as of now, according to Kash Patel, the governor of Utah, Axios is reporting with 6 individual sources. Mind you, the media has no problem reporting things with a single anonymous source, but this time they have 6, saying the motivation for the assassination likely was the shooter's transgender lover. And the left is lying about it. So when J.D. Vance tries to be diplomatic, and I respect it, saying we can't have unity with those that are celebrating the assassination of Kirk, my question then becomes, and for everyone here is, can we have unity with those that are lying to cover up the assassin's motive to justify the killing of Charlie Kirk?
No unity. It's so refreshing seeing J.D. Vance say this because
badass.
The line from the GOP, not the entire GOP, but from a lot of GOP ratchets, like right off the rip was, guys, peace and unity, let's all come together. Like, this is a battle between good and evil. And it was very vague. It was not precise whatsoever. Yep. So it's so refreshing that Trump and Vance have gotten up here and straightened out everyone's rhetoric here because it's like, okay, sure, good and evil. That's downstream from left versus right. That's exactly what's going on here. One side is evil and has demonstrated that we should be killed for our beliefs. And then the other side is just saying, let's have a debate. So it's just so refreshing to see this because, I mean, there were so many senators and congressmen that came out and did the whole peace and unity rhetoric. And it's like just not precise and not poignant to what's going on at all.
All that stuff's out the window at that point, mate. You see, people like, oh, but what about coming together? It's like, mate, people are dead. People have been shot. And I just look at it. I just don't understand how we even got here. And mate, I don't get upset much, man. But like, just as a dude, I don't like seeing people get shot and I just don't understand why it's such a conundrum, mate. They've just demonstrated that they're done with us, and if they want people like Charlie gone, imagine what they want for someone who's got similar beliefs like you or me or whatever.
Well, this is an important point. Charlie Kirk was a moderate, traditional conservative. What do you think that means for everybody else?
Well, he was the guy who wanted to have a conversation. They took out the guy, the only true guy. Well, there were many, but he's the main guy. Just wanted to talk, mate. He went straight to the uni, straight to the colleges, whatever you call them. We call them unis, but he went straight to the source, mate, like a boss, like a rock star, mate.
And with all due respect to Milo Yiannopoulos, who acknowledges he's not the nice guy. Milo did his college tours, and he was snooty and snarky and snapped back at these people.
Yeah.
Charlie told some, he didn't insult these people. He would say, God bless you and I love you.
Mm-hmm. See that tweet where it was like, you took out the nice guy, now you got Milo.
I would love to see Milo return to the college tour. We asked him to do it.
Oh, he
went, I'm 40.
40.
It's worth pointing out though, like because there are people on the left that are going to try to act as if what Vice President Vance said was blanket statement about the whole left and all of the Democrats. Yeah. And he was, like you said, he was precise. He specifically was talking about the far left, the crazies, and he did acknowledge there are Democrats that are not out of their mind. There are Democrats that do not endorse violence and stuff. And so it's worth pointing that out only because there are going to be people, and you're seeing it on X all day long. Vance has done this, Vance, blah, 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 Vance, how terrible, how terrible. He did call for unity with normal Democrats, but the people that are actually celebrating his murder, the people that are saying let's start lists of other conservatives, this is a good thing.
That's a lot of people. That's not 5 dudes.
I agree.
That's like
I agree 100%, and that's why it's so. I think why so many people are so shocked about the response. But like I said, I think it's important that we acknowledge that, or at least point out, Vance was not talking about all Democrats, and he made that distinction clear.
The thing is, they've mainstreamed political bloodlust since COVID.
Yes.
I mean, your neighbors started looking at you as a monster in 2020 during lockdowns. They wanted you to die. They were like, "We're not going to give you care if you don't get the thing we want you to take."
Yeah.
So it's just like the culmination
They
of a
want
lot
to
of
destroy
that.
your life. Yeah,
We're seeing this, and we're seeing people get fired from their jobs. And I think J.D. Vance may even had made mention to that. I don't want to misquote him, so I'm not going to try and paraphrase, but I don't care. These people, these liberals are coming out and saying, oh no, right-wing cancel culture. And my attitude is, I agreed with the left when they said there are certain things that you can't say in public. The problem was they were pushing the line like they were forwarding the line like they were running across a football field full speed.
Yeah, no.
And so people were getting swept up and being told that things they had said 10 years ago were unacceptable today, even though they didn't say it today, and getting fired from their jobs. I have no problem saying at any point, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or today, if you go to your job and start yelling about how you're glad someone got killed because they deserved it while you cackle like a fiend, if the boss said, you're making people uncomfortable, you need to leave, I would have said, yeah, that's insane.
It's reasonable. It's not digging up a tweet from 12 years ago saying you said something insensitive when you were 13 or playing Xbox. We've got a recording of you walking down the street. It's someone going to work like, yeah.
If you have a soul,
like, you don't want to have anyone like that around work, do you? Working at McDonald's, you don't want that serving you a burger, mate.
but like even worse than that, I think if you have a soul, you have to understand that the people who are celebrating this and dancing on his grave, they need to be removed from society. Like if they're teaching your kid, they can't be involved with your kid's education. If they're in charge of your healthcare, they can't be in charge of your healthcare. Like that's insane.
Doctors and teachers everywhere, mate.
There's that article from a teacher in Canada showing fifth graders the video.
Yep.
You know, that's a lot like what happened in the Cultural Revolution when they would drag people out into the public square in China and make children watch decapitations and make the children sing the Chinese national anthem while the heads rolled from the bodies.
I've never heard of that.
It's gross stuff.
And you know what I think is one of the terrifying, there's a tweet that I saw. I remember when the war with Israel and Iran broke out, and there was all the planes and the air traffic was going around Israel and Iran, that whole area, and then one UAE flight went straight over, and then the joke someone tweeted was, I deleted all of my social media. I deleted all my social media, and honestly, my mental health has never been better. And they're flying straight over Iran. We get the point. It's not. Yes, ignorance is bliss. And someone tweeted in reference to the story, if you delete your social media, you won't see it when they come to kill you. And that's actually kind of terrifying because what we are seeing, this was in response to all of the people posting, they want you dead. And not just that, lists have been made with many names. My name is on many of those lists, as well as many other conservative commentators.
Docs lists and all that stuff.
Docs lists, addresses, and they're saying them next. There's videos of people saying, why just him? Go for the rest now. I'm waiting. There's just too many of these.
Oh, mate, they're saying you can look up the word next please, on Twitter, and you can see a list of people who people are calling for. I think it's disgusting, mate. How's this been made mainstream? Just death.
They've been conditioned by their media diet.
You said,
because
like saying, conditioning
the
at a young age.
institutions are controlled by their allies and never censored or shut them down. The right doesn't do this. The mainstream right, traditional conservatives, what did Charlie Kirk say? Race-neutral country. Your race isn't what matters. Yep. Your ideas and your willingness to work. So what do? Mehdi Hassan tweeted out a page of out-of-context quotes from Charlie Kirk to justify why he's dead, saying that he was a bigot and a racist. Now, of course, he'll tell you, oh, no, I'm not trying to justify that he's dead. But we know that's exactly what they're doing. Because there's no reason to lie about someone in such a dramatic way.
Yeah.
But the reality is, Charlie Kirk was nice. He did not believe these psychotic things they're lying about. He never said black women didn't have brain processing power. They made that up. They're doing that because someone whose ideology is aligned with the mainstream Democrat Party. That is, the important thing is, people keep saying this guy was a leftist. Wrong answer. I won't call him a leftist. This guy was liberal aligned. He was left aligned. Why? What are leftists? Antifa marching through the street with masks on, screaming anticapitalista. It's fringe stuff, right? J.D. Vance said it was fringe stuff. Well, who is this guy? As far as we can tell, the only motivating factor was gender ideology, which, of course, is an ideology aligned with every single Democrat in Congress. Yes. This is not fringe. This is on television. This is on, what channel was it where they had I Am Jazz? Where the mother talked about waking up her son in the middle of the night who has a surgical graft in his abdomen that she jams a device into? TLC. Was it TLC? I'm not entirely sure, so I'll be careful. But that is on television.
Yeah.
That is on television. So with this person is motivated to kill Charlie Kirk because his lover, his boyfriend, is a male who identifies as trans, and that's what investigators are saying. I think people need to wake up that as much as J.D. Vance is saying this is fringe, the ideology that motivated this is sitting right now with every single Democrat in Congress. And I'm not saying every single Democrat wants to hurt anybody or is advocating for this. I'm saying this ideology is universal on the left.
There's states that will abduct your child if you don't affirm their gender BS.
That's right. There are states that allow strangers to kidnap your children. And if they bring them, I believe it's in the Pacific Northwest, if a man takes your 13-year-old child from your home anywhere in the country and brings them to that state for a sex change, they cannot be prosecuted.
It's insane.
That's why it's such a mistake for this line that some people are taking where they're like, oh, he's clearly mentally ill or he's clearly radicalized. It's like, just flip on any leftist streamer. You're going to see there's a huge social incentive for, I'm not going to say violence, but certainly hate. I mean, full-blown hatred towards these types of people. And
Let's-
Exhibit A.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.